Right, here we are. The first steps for the magical Kyosho Beetle. So quick overhaul on the manual first of all. Beetle manual here and the Kyosho manuals in general are pretty good, to be fair to them. You get the sort of explanatory parts of the manual, tools you're going to need. You're going to need some accessories like the paint, etc., and glue, your transmitter, motor, electronic speed controller, and servo, etc. Do's and don'ts about how to screw the screws into the various components that you're going to be building as you build along. An explanation of those parts. You get a full explanation of the parts, and so you can match them up, show as you go through the manual to make sure you've got the right screw, for example, which is very important, and the right components. And it kind of gives you the metal parts and the plastic parts, and it kind of explains those. You then go into the build steps, and then towards the end of the manual, once you've got the car sort of built up, it does have an explanatory point of the exploded view of the car, which is quite magical, and then some sort of exploded views of the various important parts to how to build. So it kind of explains that as well, so that's the sort of real difference, etc. So you can get all that into place, which is kind of pre-assembled, but we'll check as we go along. It talks about the suspension system and its exploded views of the front and the rears, and the gear ratios, because you can have two different gear ratios. And then it goes through at the back here the parts list, so should you need to order any spare parts, it gives you the part numbers for the individual components as well. So it's a very well explained and well laid out manual, slightly different to the Tamiya's, but I would say equally as well laid out and as well explained. Of course, we're going to be going right way back to the beginning, and we'll be starting our project with a parts bag and part one. So I'll show you that. And so for step one, we need to obtain parts bag A and open up plastic parts bag. So going to do that and pour my components. I typically use like a plastic tray that we've got spare, clean of course, and then we'll start doing step one. Okay, so we now have all our components together, and we have the SC 208s, which are the uprights, the two of those aluminium uprights. We have the brace, which is SC237B, which is this aluminium brace. We've got our chassis rails, which are the SC201s. We've got these plastic components, so this is SC221B, so I think that's the spruce, which is SC221. B means a bag, I believe, part 5. And you need to make sure with part 5, they're bringing you to your attention this little notch here, so this should face the front, so you need to get these the right way round. And we need some hardware, so we need these M3 nuts. We need 2 of those. That's 1-N3024, that's 2 of those. We need the button head screw, and the button head M3 by 15, which is 2 of those, that's here. So that's 1-S130158H is the actual part number. We need 2 of the cap head, and you can see this is a cap head instead of the button head. This is the smaller of the cap heads, so this is the M2.6 by 8mm. We need 2 of those, so that's 1-S22608. We also need some slightly longer of the cap head, which are again 2.6mm by 16mm long, which are 1-S22616s. And we need to put this together in such a way that these little notches, again making sure the notch is facing forward. So let's get our upright, and we get our first upright, which is this one here. Okay, it doesn't matter, I don't believe which way around, it doesn't matter. No, they're exactly the same, symmetrical there. So we take this one and then we make sure this notch is forward. So we need to pop that in like that with the notch forward. What I'm going to do is take the longer of the screw, the cap head ones with the 2.6 by 16mm, and then we collect this hole on the front of the SC201, collect that there. And then we collect the, this is the support that goes between the two. This is the SC237B. This is the support brace that goes between the two chassis rails. So pop that there. I'm then going to get the smaller of the cap heads, which is the 2.6 by 8. I'm going to pop that into the front and screw that onto there like that. Okay, so there we are. Got to repeat that on the other side. So let's take our upright again, our plastic component which goes in the middle facing the notch forward. Okay, taking our longer of the cap heads, popping that through that hole there, collecting the brace like that, and then screwing that down to there. Line everything back up again so that you can get the smaller of the cap head into position, and again pop that in here. Collect the, this is actually tapping into the actual rail itself. So there we have those two there. Put them loose for the moment and we can always nip things back up again. Then we take the button head, and this time we need to make sure the button head is on the inside, and take one of the M3 nuts and we pop that in as well so that that's there, and we give that a pop on and put all that way through down like so. And again on the other side, the button head with the button head on the inside, and the nut itself. There we go. And now it's a case of using our Allen key wrench and tightening everything up together. So it's give that a tighten up. No, I noticed no thread lock on here, so it's just a matter of straight through. I'm just using the bench as a way of keeping everything straight as well. So you can see I've turned things around. There we go. Make sure that's straight. Use the box wrench here just to hold that nut in place and tighten that up as well. I'm going to spin that round so you can see, just so you can see. There we are. And there we go. Using those two tools and the components, that's step one now completed.